Hi everyone, I'm Shivam, CEO of QualGent, and today I'm here with...
Hey, I'm Abhi, the co-founder and CTO of Knowt. We've been at this for about 7 years now. So Knowt is an all-in-one AI platform for students and teachers. We serve over 6 million people globally. And yeah, we're a pretty fast-moving engineering team. We ship across iOS, Android, and web.
I personally use Knowt a lot to learn many topics, and I'd love to understand, what does your engineering and product stack look like today?
Yeah, we have a pretty lean engineering team. We only have about 10 engineers. They work across, like I said, iOS, web, Android, and backend. You know, we move really, really fast. We've shipped a lot of features, probably built out all the features of our competitors in the span of like 6 to 8 months. And yeah, we have very regular releases. Mobile kind of goes out once a week, if not more.
Yeah, I feel like I get new updates on the app every single day almost. So why is quality so hard for Knowt?
We have a lot of users that we support. We're up to almost 2 million monthly active users. A lot of these people are super engaged. They stay for almost 15 minutes per session and have multiple sessions a day. If they have a critical test that's coming up, you know, in a few days and the entire site goes down, or even one part that they've used, you know, for weeks and weeks goes down, they kind of lose trust in the product, and we can't really have that, especially with students talking and discussing problems so much with the rest of their peers.
So then, before QualGent, how did you handle mobile QA?
We really didn't. It was just me and the co-founder running through every single build every time before we released, and it became such a pain, especially when you're the one building it. You don't really tend to look at the issues too deeply. You know, you already built this, you think it works, you kind of glaze over some things, and we only find out the issues that happened after it goes to production, and you know, our customers come back, they reach out to us on our intercom and say, you know, like, this thing is broken. We go in, fix it, push an OTA, and that cycle kind of continued over and over.
So what were the main challenges or pain points in your previous QA approach?
Yeah, I mean, our previous QA approach was just me and Abhi sitting down and testing the app over and over right before releases. It got really tedious. You know, only one feature would change. We'd still go back and go through the entire rest of the app and make sure there were no regressions and something else that could have broke. And overall, this kind of took away a lot of time from anything else we could have been doing. And even through this thorough testing, stuff still slipped through the cracks. You know, there's so much of our app that needs to be tested. You know, there's different account types, different flows that you can kind of go into, and there's always something that would slip through. So it really wasn't an ideal setup, and honestly didn't work too well.
When I was at Google, I felt the same pain points. And do you think that QA ever slowed down your roadmap or future releases?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we had at least, I can count 10 plus releases that were delayed because we didn't feel confident that there weren't going to be bugs in the product that we're going to ship out. So we would wait, we would bring in other people to test, we'd bring in our friends to start testing, and we really didn't have the confidence we needed to be able to like ship a product, you know, on a regular basis like we wanted to.
So let's talk about something fun then. Was there a specific incident that made you realize we need something better?
Yeah, so one time we had a pretty big release coming out, and I had a trip the next day. We had to get the release out. I ended up pushing the release at night. You know, we had no choice but to get it out. I wake up the next day on my flight after, you know, airplane mode's turned off, and I see like 100 messages about how something critical is broken. And, you know, we lost those users, obviously not ideal, but from then we realized, you know, we have to put a big emphasis on kind of making sure that the app is bug-free, regardless of, you know, what happens, large release, small release, whatever really goes on.
So what made you start looking for specifically an AI-driven QA solution?
Like I said, we move really fast as a team, probably one of the fastest startups on like the product side, and traditional kind of setups won't really adapt that quick with us. Even a single QA tester would not be able to cover kind of the breadth of all of the features that we have. So some AI-driven solution was kind of what we were looking for when we started searching, and we found you guys.
Well, glad you found us and glad we're able to help. What alternatives did you consider when you were searching for solutions, and why did you ultimately choose us?
We had a few kind of iterations of testing. Like the first one was, you know, me and Abhi going through the product by ourselves, one by one. Then we started bringing in friends and family. They would test for us, but obviously they don't really know the exact ways to test, what features to kind of go into. We looked into a traditional QA tester, but we have such a massive code base and such a massive feature set that we'd have to hire multiple people just to cover the app and be able to kind of release at the cadence we want. So we're super impressed by you guys. You guys have a really great focus on mobile. You guys have made sure that the testing process is super easy. You can create tests automatically, and that kind of helped us move in the direction we wanted to.
Thank you. So what did you need to see from QualGent before committing?
We tried a variety of tools. We tried AI code agents that would write jest tests for us. That didn't really give us the coverage we needed in terms of like end-to-end testing. We tried other AI software that would replace QA agents. They just didn't work. And then we found you guys. And you guys kind of fill all the gaps that we need and check off all our boxes. We kind of uploaded our apps to you guys. We set up all these tests and they worked flawlessly. They even found bugs that we currently had in production, that we missed while we were doing our prior version of testing. So that was kind of whatever we needed to see. And after that, we've just continued creating tests and making sure we have full coverage.
That's great too. And to speak to their product speed, the moment we reported the bugs, they were able to fix them within days. We were very impressed by how fast you guys move.
Yep. That's one of our greatest skills.
How was the onboarding and integration experience with QualGent?
Surprisingly smooth. I think within a day after we connected our apps, repo, and whatever else we needed to kind of get set up with testing, we had test cases running. And you guys are pretty great. You guys helped us set up tests over all of our critical flows. You went through the app yourself and found tests that needed to be tested. So it was really, really great and kind of helped us get the ball rolling and make sure we had tests going almost immediately.
Thanks. It was very fun to go through every flow of the app. So how long did it take you to get your first aha moment with QualGent?
I think it came the first day. We told you guys about a test that we were sure worked in the app. Then we ran a test and we realized that on some specific device, it actually did not work. So first day, right off the bat, we realized we actually needed you guys to be running 24/7 for us.
Really happy to hear that. What did you think of our newest feature, the AI test case creation agent?
Honestly, we didn't realize how much we needed it until we started using it. We have so many features to cover, and honestly, doing them by hand or getting you guys to make them for us got pretty tedious. Honestly, nowhere near as tedious as our previous kind of testing setup. But being able to automatically create tests and cover everything that we needed just through a sentence or two is probably one of the greatest features that you guys have added recently.
Thanks. We were really excited building it, and we were excited to deploy it to your team. How well does QualGent fit into your existing CI/CD and release workflow?
Pretty simple. I think we upload builds and it'll automatically trigger test cases to start running for that build. And by the time it's approved by Apple or Google Play, we'll have the test results in, so we'll know if that release is good to go or if there's something critical that needs to be fixed. So surprisingly simple.
So let's move on to talking more about your experience with QualGent and some of the ROI you've seen. What impact has QualGent had on your release velocity?
Yeah, we've definitely upped our cadence. I think it used to be once every 2 weeks or sometimes even less frequent than that. Now I think we've gone at least to weekly and sometimes even more if we have kind of minor fixes that need to go out. Sometimes before we wouldn't even ship those until a large release. Now we ship those pretty safely and pretty confidently.
And how has your bug rate in production changed since QualGent?
Yeah, it's significantly lower. Obviously, we had a fairly bug-free app prior to this as well, but there would be stuff that slipped through the cracks, and we'd find out about it through intercom. Now we're catching them before the release even goes out, and now those kind of bug rate has gone significantly lower.
And you probably sleep peacefully at night now.
Much better.
So how has it affected your team's time and focus?
Yeah, the team doesn't need to take time switching away from their work or important projects that they're on just to test features that they've already built. We can let QualGent handle that. All the test cases are running constantly, and now with the test creation suite, the tests automatically get created for new features that we have launched, and we don't have to worry about kind of manually creating test cases either, and that saves us a significant amount of time.
Do you have any examples of where QualGent has caught something that you likely would have missed?
I think a lot of them kind of revolve around different device dimensions. Portrait versus landscape mode, we had something in landscape mode that we never would have caught. I don't think I've ever turned my phone in landscape while testing an app. We also had some login issues on a specific device with Android 14 where some button was hidden that we couldn't see below the fold, and a lot of random things like that we never would have thought to catch without you guys.
How has QualGent increased your confidence during big launches?
Much, much better. Like you said, I sleep a lot more peacefully. I go on flights without worrying that this app's going to break after I turn back airplane mode on. So I think it's helped us make sure we can release quickly, efficiently, and a lot more safely.
So to wrap up this, like, have you seen any ROI cost savings you can talk about with QualGent?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were planning on building out a QA team. Once we found out we were getting all these bug reports, we definitely thought we had a need for this QA team, and now we've kind of replaced all of that with, this AI testing agent that you guys have built. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's just about cost savings. Having kind of the security to be able to move fast and release things without breaking things is something you can't really quantify into a dollar amount.
Completely agree. Which QualGent features do you and your team use the most?
I think the main one is making sure that all tests run on every build. I mean, that's pretty critical to our infrastructure. Being able to run all these in parallel is also pretty important, as well as like kind of support for portrait landscape mode, and having a quick and easy dashboard to kind of be able to see easily at a glance, what's been breaking, what's still been good, and that kind of helps quite a bit.
And how intuitive is it for your engineers or cross-functional team to work with AI agents?
Super simple. I mean, I think the test cases are in, natural language, so there's not really much of a learning curve. They just have to know our product, and they've been building with us for years now, so they know exactly how the product works. So there's really not that large of kind of an uphill battle there.
And how responsive has our team been to feedback or feature requests from your team?
Yeah, you guys are awesome. You guys have made sure that we, stay on top of everything even with how fast you guys are moving with launching new versions. You guys make sure we stay up to date on everything that's being launched, kind of get on calls, go through product demos. So we feel pretty confident in the product you guys have put out
Thanks.
week over week.
That's because we're using QualGent for QualGent. We're testing our own software with ourselves. So
Gotta love dogfooding.
Of course. And how does QualGent handle scale for you? More tests, more devices, more features, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys run hundreds or thousands of tests in parallel. I mean, without that, or even with like a single or multiple QA agents, we wouldn't even be able to get to kind of the scale you guys are at, which really helps us because, Apple releases are approved within almost like 6 to 12 hours, and there's no way we could test the full breadth of the app in those hours with any kind of manual process that we ever had.
So let's talk about team and culture shift. How has QualGent changed how your team thinks about QA?
I think every team kind of dreads the QA process and kind of testing in general. But now we've kind of realized that it's a necessity that can easily be built into kind of our development lifecycle. So it's not something that we kind of look at as like a last-minute checkbox, like, oh, testing has been done. Now it's kind of an integral step in our kind of product journey and putting out releases. So,
what do your engineers think about working with an AI QA agent?
Yeah, I mean, engineers love it. They hated writing tests. I mean, I also hate writing tests, and we barely did anything before. But now it's so much easier. You write in natural language. I can much more clearly tell you how our product works and have an AI agent go and test it, rather than have to write the entire test case myself, have to work on screenshot regressions, jest tests, and kind of worry about the whole end-to-end experience.
And how has QualGent changed your role as CTO?
I worry a lot less. So I think that's my main benefit from QualGent. I can put out releases with a lot more certainty and feel a lot safer that the product that's going out is going to be bug-free and production-ready.
We're really happy to hear that. So Abhi, what would you say to another CTO or VP of engineering who's on the fence about trying QualGent?
I say just pull the trigger and try it out. You can kind of set it up on your critical workflows or things that you haven't really tested in a long time, and you'll probably find one or more bugs that even your QA team wasn't able to find. And it's definitely worth kind of the leap to take to move into this AI testing space.
If you had to describe QualGent in one sentence, what would you say?
I'd say it's like an AI QA team that's running 24/7 on every single device you care about all the time. And that's pretty imperative for a company that's putting out releases over and over.
Definitely. And how do you feel if you had to go back to a world without QualGent?
I probably wouldn't.
Any final thoughts you'd like to share about working with the QualGent team?
I mean, we love you guys. You guys have been putting out a great product and will continue to put out great products over the years. You guys have already told us about a few releases that are coming up, and we're pretty excited to see those and get those integrated with our product.
Yeah, we'd love to share all the new features we're building with you. But I think as of now, I see that on your dashboard, you have 2 more bugs. You should probably take a look.
We'll get right on that.
Thanks so much, Abhi.